strip through the bottom if you would like. Then you're gonna need 3 stirrups, 4 heel locks, and then 2 figure eights. So that is whenever I'm testing you or giving you your practice, that's what you're gonna need to have to check off to get 100 or whatnot. So what you're gonna do first off is we'll start with the pre-wrap, and where you lay the pre-wrap is where the calf, the gastroc and soleus kind of come together as one. So like the narrowest portion of the calf muscle. So it's called the neuromuscular junction. So I'm gonna start hers right about here. So this is gonna be where the top of my ankle is going, tape job is gonna start. So, like I told the other class, for positioning, always in dorsiflexion. The most stable that joint is in, it's closed pack position. Plantar flexion and inversion is where ankle injuries start to occur, so obviously we're not gonna wanna tape in that position. So always ask that person, they get tired throughout the tape job, they're like, oh my gosh, that's hard. But keeping the ankle dorsiflexed the whole time, okay?
Glad we didn't do my other foot.
That's hard for you?
What? I broke that ankle.
Alright, so simple and easy, there's the pre-wrap, okay? So starting with the top, I'm going to lay 3 base strips. If you guys like 2, that's okay. So however many base strips you want to lay. And I usually like to lay one above the skin to keep that ankle taping, right? So this is the stirrup, okay? So stirrups are going to start medial and go lateral. So what the stirrup is doing is kind of just anchoring the joint in place. You're starting medial because if you were to start lateral and go medial, what position are we putting the foot in? Good. So we're gonna go medial to lateral for all 3 of these, always. So when you're going to lateral, you're really gonna wanna push up on that lateral side. So to kind of base that ankle in place. And again, I like to close off between these so that my stirrup doesn't kind of move. So that would be my most anterior one. When you're laying the stirrups, you're gonna wanna go kind of to span across the whole malleoli. So I'll lay them just by half. And again, I pull up pretty hard on the lateral side. Then the last one. So you need 3 of these. And then I like to close off. So there we are. We're at the bottom. So that is done. I kind of got the whole top of the ankle closed off. So really all I got to do after I finish off my heel locks in the figure 8 is close off at the top. So heel lock. It's really confusing. You're gonna start high with the heel lock, okay? The figure 8, you're gonna be starting low. So you're gonna start high. I usually start right above the malleoli. And I go in a diagonal pattern, back behind the calcaneus. See, I even get weird angles sometimes still. So I'm gonna start over so my angle's not weird. So back behind the malleoli, back up through. There's one heel lock. And you're gonna need to do the medial and lateral. So the other one's gonna start in the opposite direction. So back behind the calcaneus, down around the malleoli, and back up through. So that would be 2. You need to do 4. So back around the calcaneus, and down around the malleoli, back up through. Let the tape lie too, like whatever, when you come up and back up through, don't think that the tape needs to lie over here or needs to go the whole way up. Let it go where it wants to go. And one more, so starting on the other side, back around, and up through. So that was 4 heel locks, okay? Simple and easy. Next is gonna be the figure 8s. So those are gonna start medial. So you're gonna start right at the navicular. You're gonna go up through and back around. So it's kind of similar to a heel lock except it's starting low. So for the figure 8, you're gonna wanna do both of them medial. So it's when we talked about the heel lock, if you remember, we did to this side, to this side. Figure 8, always starting medial. It's the same exact one 2 times in a row. Okay, so that's there. We're done with that. So I'm just gonna close off. And then I close off at the top. So these are the C-strips again. Okay, and then I'd probably lay one more, but I'm gonna run out of tape. So does that make sense to everyone? So figure eights and heel locks are kind of confusing, and for the first part of it, you're gonna be like, I can't tell the difference between the two. So it's okay if it's till halfway through the semester where you're starting to understand them and getting them lying without crinkling, because I like crinkle sometimes still too. So I'm gonna walk around, help you guys through that, and
Let's do it right here.
kind of send your video